Hello, magical people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is megmoonbeam, and today I'm very excited to talk about our upcoming extremely potent and powerful new moon in Scorpio happening on November 20th, 2025. You're not going to want to miss why this is such a big deal for the whole collective and also each of the 12 signs. I'll get into predictions and forecasting, way to work with this new moon. For your sun, moon, and rising signs as well. So thank you all so much for joining me. And please remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, consider leaving a comment below to help with the channel's growth. I am very grateful for everybody's support of my independent channels. And also really excited for coming up, I have my annual 2026 astrology webinar, predictions for all 12 signs for the Gregorian year of 2025 ahead. I do a 4-day annual webinar, for those of you who don't know, for each of the sun, moon, and rising signs for the year ahead. I always do the webinar live, and it's very cost affordable. $44 USD for all 12 signs. It's probably going to be an over 12-hour 4-day webinar. If you can't join in live, there is unlimited replay access, so no worries at all. Link is in the description box below to sign up. And from now until November 30th, you can use discount code 2026 to get 10% off. So, new moon in Scorpio. Well, this new moon in Scorpio is going to be exact on November 20th at 1:47 a.m. Eastern time. Please give me grace, you guys, because I'm filming this during a Mercury retrograde. Okay. So hopefully, please, Mercury retrograde gods, please help me speak clearly, speak fluently, make no mess ups with my words. So, okay, new moon in Scorpio. Let's talk about what this means for the collective first, and then we'll get into each of the 12 sign predictions. So this is a really interesting new moon because the moon is at fall position in the sign of Scorpio. She doesn't really like to be in the sign of Scorpio because the moon is all about home, comfort, security, our emotions, feeling good, feeling safe in our little crab shell, the moon, ruler of Cancer. And Scorpio, the moon's fall sign, is the most intense sign in astrology. It's extremes, the hidden and dark side of life, intensity, crisis. Okay. So whenever we're dealing with Scorpio season, like we're in right now, from end of October to beginning mid-November, and of course, new moons and full moons and Scorpios, these are always very intense times. But this new moon is very fascinating because, yes, it's in Scorpio. Yes, Venus and Mercury are in Scorpio, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. We've got the ruler Pluto, traditional ruler of the sign of Scorpio, in sextile, positive aspect to this new moon, which is very good. And going to talk about Uranus in opposition to this new moon. There's a lot of intensity going on, but also positivity and blessings and opportunity as well. So it's very Scorpionic. As Scorpio is extremes. So during the portal of this new moon, the 3 days before and after November 20th, you can be expect really high highs and potential for really low lows, where you're not necessarily going to have a mental breakdown and completely freaking lose it and have a dark night of the soul. But the sign of Scorpio is about not poo-pooing when the lows come up, not poo-pooing when the dark side of life comes up, when deep truths need to come up so that we can up level to the next level. So as we're in the portal of this new moon in Scorpio, if you find yourself at times having really intense emotions or moods, or there's things really triggering you in your personal life, don't poo-poo it. Okay. Don't go, oh, I'm just going to pretend like that's not going on and smudge myself and it's all love and light. That's not Scorpio. Scorpio is about going deep into the depths of the shadow side. Okay. Going into the depths of why am I getting triggered by that person? Why am I procrastinating in that certain area of life? Why don't I like my job? Why don't I like this relationship? Really going deep into what's up with that through reflection, through mirror work. Have you guys ever tried looking at yourself in the mirror? That's a very powerful thing to do when we're in Scorpio season, new moon in Scorpio. Through talking to a shaman, an energy healer, an astrologer, a tarot reader, a psychotherapist. Scorpio rules psychotherapy, right? Scorpio is the sign of real deal healing modalities and getting to the bottom, the absolute bottom of what is going on, what is triggering you, what are your core issues, what are your blocks, what are your fears, and what are your traumas from the past. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is conjunct this new moon. So we actually have a Mercury cazimi on the day of this new moon. There's so much I have to unpack with this new moon. It's crazy. If you take anything from this video, there's going to be many different predictions, things that I'm suggesting, but I'm really feeling like most importantly for each of us on the personal level, this new moon in Scorpio is a very beautiful portal to get real with ourselves. Okay? And we're going to go through each of the 12 signs of where this new moon is illuminating that we need to get real, we need to pay attention, we need to face our fears, we maybe need to do some clearing. We're going through an up level. Get real, get honest with yourself. And, beautiful grand water trine with this new moon, very, very special between the new moon, Jupiter, and Saturn. So you're not going to lose it by facing your fears. You're not going to go crazy by letting yourself get vulnerable and do some real deal healing modalities. Granddaddy Saturn is stabilizing us, is keeping it stable. Okay, we're not going to completely lose it so that we can face what needs to come up. So if you take anything from this video, please be open to the beautiful healing energy, deep healing, scorpionic, piercing healing, and up level that this new moon has to offer us. And if you feel like you're really struggling with a certain challenge or trigger or area of life, Scorpio rules real deal practitioners. Okay, so this is an amazing new moon to be consulting again with a therapist, energy healing practitioner, guides, shamanic practitioners in particular, tantric healers, those kind of things. Highly, highly suggest that. It's extremely potent. Also, very big theme with this new moon in Scorpio as well. Deep truths. Deep, not little bits and pieces. Deep. Scorpio is all about depth. Deep truths and secrets coming to life so we can begin anew in our personal lives, with ourselves and our loved ones, in the collective. See where you have 28 degrees of Scorpio in your chart, and we'll go through each of the 12 signs. But this is an area of life, the house that you have 28 degrees of Scorpio, that you're going through an up level, you're going through a major transformation. There's probably some fears you have to face and some shit you need to own up to. But there's also, if you do so, beautiful blessings. Jupiter, exalted in Cancer, retrograde trine this new moon with Granddaddy Saturn in this beautiful grand water trine. Blessings come through if you face those areas, okay? So if you have placements, I'm going to say between 22 to 29 degrees of Scorpio, you are going to be feeling this the most intensely. And it's really interesting because myself and many of you out there born between 1983 and 1995, we are Pluto in Scorpio generation. Okay. So right now in the current astrology, we have Pluto in the beginning of his transit in Aquarius. He's been on and off in Aquarius for the past 2 years, I think. And from 1983 to 1995, many people born right now were actually born with Pluto at home in Scorpio, including myself. So we have many people that with this new moon in Scorpio at 28 degrees of Scorpio, it will be in a conjunction to many of the Pluto in Scorpio generations' natal Pluto, which is all about transformation, all the things Scorpio rules. So for the Pluto and Scorpio generation, anybody who's a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, Mars at home in Scorpio as well, this is going to be a really, really big deal for you, okay? And this is a very, I'm going to say this is actually, in my personal astrological opinion, the most interesting new moon of this whole Gregorian year of 2025. I think this is the most interesting, weirdest, potentially blessed. It sounds weird to say because the moon is at fall in Scorpio, but again, even though there's intense aspects going on, Uranus in an opposition to this new moon, Jupiter squares Chiron, we've got this Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, sextile the new moon, beautiful grand water trine. There's blessings, there's positive energy at the same time. So typically new moons are about set your intentions, start a new thing, woo, 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 right? But we're in a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Okay, so this is actually astrologically not the best time to be necessarily starting a new project, launching something, coming up with an idea right now and starting anew. Okay, I suggest with this new moon in Scorpio, be very open to what is coming up for you. Do healing work, do deep reflection, be open to the blessings that are coming forward. And yes, you can set your intentions, okay, but not necessarily for something you're going to start on the day of the new moon because we've got Mercury retrograde conjunct the new moon. So this is more about healing, deep information that needs to come forward that we need to face and process through as a collective and personally so that we can move forward into new energies. For those of you who don't know, Scorpio rules many different things in life, including the hidden and dark side of life. A lot of people can be scared of the sign of Scorpio because it rules those things. It rules power, extremes, secrets, sex, merging with others, anything that we consider taboo, death and rebirth, resurrection, transformation, intuition, real deal healing modalities, hidden money, including taxes, inheritances, investments, etc. Scorpio also rules things such as crime, criminality, our fears, trauma, conspiracies, conspiracy theories, and crisis as well. So again, with this beautiful grand water trine, Jupiter, Saturn, and the sun and the moon and Mercury in this grand water trine, blessings and luck through embracing healing and paying attention to our inner world and the opportunities and blessings coming into our inner world, having to do with our own healing journey, families, and emotions. There can be miraculous healing breakthroughs, deep healing breakthroughs with this new moon in Scorpio with our family members, with our parents. Granddaddy Saturn rules parents, grandparents, teachers, people older than us. So I find this personally very exciting. The modern day ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, is in a sextile to this new moon. So the malefics, Granddaddy Saturn and Pluto, they're in positive aspects. So again, I keep hearing Spirit say with this new moon, you're not going to lose your mind. It's not all going to go to shit. Okay. Don't believe your fears, whatever those fears are. Let them come to the surface. We're being completely supported in this new moon to have a breakdown to then go into a breakthrough. And what do I mean by the breakdown? To really get into what is holding you back and why in certain areas of life. Really get into your fears, your traumas that you feel may be coming to the surface right now. We are being stabilized. We are being supported by Saturn and Pluto to face these things and to transform through these things. The traditional ruler of Scorpio, Mars, is not in any really major aspects. He is starting to get into a square to the nodes in the sign of Sagittarius. Again, luck, hope, optimism, breakthrough, expanded knowledge, foreign people, places, things. Our minds are expanding. Our consciousness is expanding. I really feel like many people won't feel the same after this new moon in Scorpio. Many of us will feel very different. We will feel like we've resurrected. We will feel like we've come out of the other side of something that we've been holding on to, that's maybe been a block or a fear or a secret being revealed that helps us to move forward. And it's interesting too, because this new moon in Scorpio is at the end of Scorpio season. So we're right about to, actually within the new moon portal, we're entering Sagittarius season the day after the new moon on the 21st. So it's like a breakthrough into lighter energies, more optimism, more light energy. We're stepping out of the darkness of Scorpio season and what has come up for us during this time. Other strong aspects include Mercury conjunct the Sun, which we call a cazimi. Huge theme, as I already said with this new moon, of major secrets and information from the past, Mercury retrograde, coming up in our personal lives, wherever we have 28 degrees of Scorpio in our chart, and in the collective. We are about to have this new moon in Scorpio week. And also what I've noticed with the new moons and the full moons is their influence can even go for the whole next 2 to 4 week period until the next lunations. And of course, also the next 6 months until we have the full moon in Scorpio in May 2026. So it's not just the new moon portal. This is a time, but I do think it is going to happen this week. Major secrets and information being revealed having to do with Scorpio rules, criminals, politicians, powerful people, occultists, good occultists, bad occultists, right? Dark arts people. It's going to be a bit of an information overload this new moon in Scorpio week, where I am definitely going to be trying my best, okay, to maybe just look at the phone once or twice a day and really be in my own energy of processing whatever's coming up for me personally, because it's going to be like nonstop news story after news story after news story. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something that comes up this week within the next couple of weeks where it's like a nonstop news cycle of mainstream and independent news keeping up with something hour to hour that's just broken and it's a huge scandal. There can be that kind of thing coming up as well. Mercury cazimi, Mercury sextile Pluto, Mercury in this grand water trine, Uranus in an opposition to Mercury is all about information. And this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is deep secrets coming to the surface from the past for us to be able to move forward, and shocking things, unexpected things. Uranus at anaretic degree, 29 degree, critical degree at fall in Scorpio, opposite Mercury. It's easy to say, oh, the Epstein files are going to get released. Okay, I'm not saying that necessarily is going to happen, but I definitely think there's going to be more coming out having to do with the Epstein files. That's a very big hot topic as we're leading up to this new moon. And there seems to be a battle in, the Republican MAGA world between having to do with the Epstein files. It's absolutely fascinating to watch, and the whole world, right? But there's also going to be other unexpected things. Uranus is unpredictability. Interesting. 28 degrees, this new moon is at 28 degrees, which is a Cancer degree. Okay, the moon, of course, rules the sign of Cancer, so the moon likes to be in Cancer degrees. And Cancer rules all the things that the moon does, our emotions, divine feminine, nurturance, self-care. So I think women will be very highlighted. I don't know if this is happening or actually, yeah, it is. I did hear that. There's going to be, I forget what day it is. Please forgive me, you guys, but I saw an interview with Thomas Massey and some other dude saying I think it's this new moon week that there's going to be Epstein survivors again standing, I think, on Capitol Hill or in Washington, doing another protest to release the Epstein files before the big vote. There's going to be a vote this week on releasing the full Epstein files. So women, 28 degrees, Cancer, we're hearing women's voices. Mercury Cazimi at a Cancer degree about what? Criminality, Scorpio, intensity, Scorpio, trauma, hidden secrets. There's going to be maybe names put out this week, maybe new allegations put out this week. Women speaking truth, women speaking secrets. I also find it interesting that she's a representative, right? Forgive me, you guys, because I'm a Canadian, so I don't know everything about American politics, but I believe she's called Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. She just got dissed by President Trump, and she was one of his main supporters going back when it wasn't even cool. So interesting that there's a woman, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's being like penalized and dissed and said to be crazy. And Trump has said all these really, nasty things about her for speaking out and supporting Epstein victims. There can be good women that are really in the spotlight and also not so good women being in the spotlight. I'll be careful with the names I put out here, but pretty sure a lot of you guys already know there's many, many women in politics and, powerful positions that are Scorpios and have major Scorpio placements that are not so good. I think they're going to be really highlighted with this new moon. So women in the spotlight, revealing secrets that are uncomfortable. Scorpio. And this can also be women, not just on the public world stage, but day to day, women are feeling more like, okay, I'm ready to go deep. I'm ready to release that trauma. I'm ready to talk to a therapist. I'm ready to speak out on what happened to me, kind of thing. Women sharing their intuition, women paying attention to their intuition. This is a very intuitive time. Also for the men, of course. So ways to work with this full moon: real deal healing modalities, including shadow work, psychotherapy, spiritual psychotherapy, shamanism, EMDR, physical cleansing practices, tantra, and sexual healing. I also think this new moon in Scorpio portal is amazing for spending time with family healing and therapy. It's a very strong, even though it's Scorpio new moon, very strong Cancer influence with it being at a Cancer degree, in trine to Jupiter, exalted in Cancer, right? Cancer is all about family, home, security, our emotions, intuition as well. Be mindful of your resources. Okay, this is going a whole different direction. Be mindful of your resources and where they are stored. There's a big possibility for financial instability coming up. I'm going to say within the next 6 months. Now, that's a really big window, and I'm sorry to have to give you guys that very big window. But again, it's not always necessarily on the day of the new moon or the 3 days before or after the new moon that we can see this Uranus at critical degree at fall in Taurus, influence of his opposition to this new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio and Taurus, the signs that Uranus and this new moon are in and they're opposing each other, is the financial axis. It is the resource axis. This is indicating that there's going to be potential for within the next 6-month period from now until the full moon in Scorpio in May 2026, a potential for a financial crash, a potential for something very unstable having to do with cryptocurrency. Uranus deals with cryptocurrency, risky assets. I would just say, and I'm not a financial advisor by any means, okay, but I would suggest you speak with financial advisors, you speak with trustworthy accountants, you have your resources in very safe places I love precious metals. I like things that are actually of physical value on your person. That's just me. Again, not financial advice. Very important during this time, because this is an indicator, and that's one of the challenging sides of this new moon in Scorpio, that there's going to be something major happening to the financial side of life within the next 6 months for sure. Other ways to work with this new moon, deep reflection on how you are, who you are, and how to become more authentically yourself and empowered. What are you hiding from yourself and others? Is there anything? Also, Scorpio rules death and dead people. So this is a very powerful time where we can feel more connected with our deceased loved ones. We may be dreaming of our deceased loved ones. We can feel them around us. You can call upon them for support in your healing. Be open to their love and messages. And it's also a great time for psychic mediumship, intuitive development, and divination. So to recap, some of my predictions I already said and some I didn't say yet for this new moon in Scorpio. And again, just to reiterate, they're not just for this week, can be for the whole next 6 months until the full moon in Scorpio, May 2026. Did I say yet huge secrets and truths being revealed? I feel like I've been saying that the whole past 2 weeks about criminality, politicians, powerful people, things that happened in the past with Mercury retrograde in Scorpio conjunct this new moon. Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton's Mercuries are at 21 degrees of Scorpio. And within the influence of this new moon in Scorpio, Mercury retrograde will be conjunct both of these placements in the coming weeks. So I think things will be revealed about Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, both of those presidential administrations, big time. Interesting that Donald Trump's IC, which is the bottom of his chart, is 24 degrees of Scorpio. So this new moon is conjunct Donald Trump's IC. The IC is the most vulnerable part of our astrology chart, and it represents the past. It can also represent traumas and secrets as well. So this is a very vulnerable time for President Trump. It's not an easy time for him, and there can be secrets about his past definitely being revealed at this time, which can be uncomfortable. Shocking world events with Uranus in an opposition to Neptune, and that has to do with the financial markets, weather, Uranus at fallen Taurus. Taurus is Mother Earth, nature, the weather. Be careful during this new moon time of going out into the wilderness. Be aware of the weather, be aware of your surroundings, be prepared. Especially if you're traveling too and you're not familiar of weather environments that you're in, you might want to look that up. I do think another positive, we can see positive advancements for fertility and women's health during this new moon. Since there is such a strong Cancerian influence, I already said financial market instability and shocks. Another positive news for real estate markets over the next 6 months. And yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Are you already feeling the new moon in Scorpio influence? I definitely am. And let's pull some cards for the collective. I'm feeling like doing a past, present, future spread. Then we'll get into each of the 12 signs for this new moon in Scorpio. What is our divine guidance, past, present, future, for our highest good for this new moon in Scorpio? Past is the Four of Wands reversed. Whoa! Oh my God. Present is the devil. New moon in Scorpio. And our future is the Nine of Wands reversed. Interesting. 2 wands reversed. And our bonus card, oh my God, the World upright. told you guys this is going to be freaking nuts. Okay, so this is our past. And the past, present, future, my intention with it is how this relates to this new moon in Scorpio, what's coming up for us, and what we're processing through with it. So in the past, 4 of Wands reversed. Tension, turbulence, anxious, unprepared, hurried, insincere. Now, 4 of Wands upright is usually a very nice card, right? It can be celebration, yay, domestic bliss, yay, everything's all good, we're feeling good, but it's reverse. So this is interesting because I feel like many of us have had tension having to do with our families, our close relationships, our home countries, changes in the home countries. Like this hasn't been a stable energy. And we're coming from, I love that word, how to explain it, turbulence. We've been in turbulence for a very long time. Beep, beep, put on your seatbelt. We've been in turbulence. And the present is the devil, which is such a Scorpio card, also related to Capricorn. These are the 2 malefic signs, Scorpio and Capricorn. So what this new moon is bringing up for us, the devil. I love the affirmation on this card. You are only limited by what you believe is possible. So the devil, we can get really freaked out when we see this card, like, holy shit, it's the devil. Something bad is going to happen. Oh my God. No, the devil, yes, it's a challenging card, but it's about what are we holding on to? What are we obsessed with? What is binding us? What is repressing us? It's our shadow side. What is really like addictive to us? What are we obsessed with? What are we having a hard time letting go? Shadow work. Okay. And I'm hearing Spirit say, like, this is really deep-seated issues that are coming up right now. That it's not like a quick fix. Okay, I'm just going to get Scorpio for a moment. If you're addicted to something, or you're obsessed, or you really have a major fear, yes, there can be a miraculous, oh, I'm healed right away. I just did 1 session with my therapist and it's great. No, usually these things take time. Okay, and you have to have patience, and you have to find the modalities that help you work through what is coming up. Okay. So I feel like it's interesting, our near future is the 9 of Wands reversed, right? And upright, he's about, there's fears, and it's time to face those fears, and you will be success in facing those fears. Reversed is making me feel like we're in an uncomfortable time. Okay, I'm just going to be completely Scorpio honest with you guys. And for those of you who don't know, I am a Scorpio with my Pluto in Scorpio and Mars exactly trine Pluto in my chart, the 2 rulers of Scorpio. So these are not easy times, and it's not going to feel comfortable for quite a while. I'm very excited about 2026, and I'm going to do videos coming up. I got my webinar coming up. I'll go deep into that. 2026 is going to be badass. There's a huge energy shift. We're just in uncomfortable times. And the words on here, frustrated, anxious, delay. It even says disaster, right? Are you going to let yourself go into a disastrous place by, I'm hearing Spirit say, not going into your self-care, not facing your fears, not taking care of yourself, being stuck in the past? We're moving forward. And yes, it is frustrating that things take time. That's just a truth. So there's a very Scorpio message right now. This is very interesting through the cards, that it's like, usually things aren't just a quick fix. It's very Scorpio. This is like very, Okay. If you're an alcoholic, that's not really a quick fix. It takes time and also upkeep to make a change and keep that change. Right? I hope this makes sense how I'm explaining this. It's like what's coming up with this new moon in Scorpio. Yes, there's healing breakthroughs and potential with this beautiful grand water trine and everything that we've got going on, but it's such deep things coming up for each of us that it's going to take upkeep. It's not like, oh, you're healed and that's it and you don't have to face it anymore. No, you're going to have to continue to work on yourself and be honest with yourself, and you might get little tests. That's something I have really experienced as a Scorpio. You will get tested on what you want to let go. Big time. That has always happened to me. I have always had that with every relationship that I had to let go of, with every negative self-sabotaging pattern that I've had to let go of. There's always those little tests, spiritual tests. Did you really let it go? We're going to test you again. So pay attention. Our bonus card is the World, which is a beautiful card. Everything you have worked for is coming together. Success, yay, accomplishment, perfection, woohoo. Isn't this weird? This is Uranus opposite this new moon. It's weird. And remember what I said at the beginning of the video, you guys, if you've been listening since the beginning of the video, it's like extreme highs and there can be lows. And part of the lows with this new moon is being honest with yourself about what are your shadow side issues that, if there are any, may be holding you back. You may be lying to yourself about something. You may be lying to yourself about something. You may be lying to someone else about something. The unconscious becomes conscious with this new moon. And Scorpio is about real deal processing and modalities to move past major issues, and you will be successful. These are not quick fixes, but you will be successful. I'm feeling like pulling an extra bonus card because this feels like a very big energy right now. Is there any other spiritual message for us for our highest good with this new moon in Scorpio? Thank you for the very clear messages. Anything else, universe, that you'd like to let us know? I'm going to ask, how else can we work with this energy? I'm hearing pay attention. Yeah. 8 of Pentacles, which is very much about learning and apprenticeship. But I also felt right away with the 8 of Pentacles, things take time. Things take time. By you getting real with yourself, by you waking up even more, it wakes up the people around you. It heals the people around you. It heals your whole ancestral line. It's just, there's this message so strong coming through of things take time right now during these times. Things take time. Uranus retrograde in Taurus, Neptune retrograde in Pisces, Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Yes, Pluto's in Aquarius, but it's not until mid-2026 that all the outer planets are in fire and air, and it's not this anymore. It's fast. Fast, 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 fast. We're still in the mud of things take time. Okay. Thank you, universe. Now let's get into our predictions, forecasts for each of the 12 signs. And Let me bring up the chart here. Okay, and we're going to start with our Pisces, sun, moon, and risings and work our way backwards through the signs. I like to go back and forth, not always starting with the Aries, like to do things a little bit differently. So Pisces, how is it going? You guys are going to be having this very powerful new moon in Scorpio in your 9th astrological house. And really cool that we've got both of your planetary rulers, Pisces, Jupiter, your traditional ruler, and Neptune, your modern ruler, a part of this grand water trine happening this new moon. So this is extremely healing for all 12 signs, but in particular for you, you can be feeling more of the positive upliftment and breakthroughs, moving past stagnation with this energy. And this new moon in Scorpio, it's putting a big Scorpio light on 9th house, your beliefs, your higher mind, your teachers, guides, subjects that you've been studying, higher learning, foreign people, places, and things, publishing also as well, you being a teacher or guide, that archetype. It's very much about your beliefs and all these 9th house areas and very deep truths coming out and healing breakthroughs in these areas as well. So amazing new moon to be doing 9th house things like meditations, belief work, moving past self-limiting beliefs. We've got the traditional ruler of Scorpio Mars in your 10th house and the modern ruler Pluto in your 12th house. So this new moon is also bringing revelations having to do with your work and your long-term goals. Older people than you in your life, you can get some empowering news. You can have some empowering downloads having to do with what you really want to be doing long-term professionally. And highly spiritual and healing with Pluto, the modern day ruler of Scorpio, in your 12th house of Pisces, your home house, in sextile to this new moon. So Pisces, I can see beautiful spiritual downloads, creative ideas as well. Some of you guys may be traveling in a foreign country. It's interesting because the 9th house and the 12th house both have to do with faraway places. You can be feeling really drawn to a faraway place. You can kind of learn about, or it can come to the surface, why you have a strong connection to a foreign place as well. Not the best time to be traveling with Mercury retrograde at the moment, but if you are traveling, definitely double check everything. If you're wanting to book a trip, wait until after the Mercury retrograde, November 30th, moving forward. And the 9th house is also luck and expansion. So I think that there can be beautiful, beautiful blessings of breakthroughs in your beliefs, work, spirituality, and creativity as well. So sending lots of love your way, Pisces, and have a magical new moon. Okay, next we move to our Aquarius. How's it going, Aquarius? You guys are going to be having this new moon in Scorpio in your 10th astrological house. And interesting that we've got your traditional ruler, Granddaddy Saturn, in trine to this new moon, and your modern day ruler, Uranus, in an almost exact opposition to this new moon. So for you, Aquarius, this can actually feel highly weird or potentially unsettling, destabilizing is the right word for me to be using. But, this is a new moon I've been talking all about in this video of healing breakthrough. So embrace the weirdness, the instability, the shocks and surprises that may be coming up because they're a part of your up level having to do with your work, 10th house, long-term goals, parents, grandparents, people older than you in your life. Aquarius, you're going through Pluto in your sign right now. This is a no joke time. And we've got Pluto in your sign in sextile to this new moon. So I'm seeing really big breakthroughs and opportunities, luck, having to do with your work, having to do with your long-term goals and your legacy. And what is that? You can be having major downloads. There can be secrets coming up about your work, bosses, people older than you as well. We've got the traditional ruler of Scorpio, Mars in your 11th house, and the modern ruler, as I said, Pluto in your sign in sextile to this new moon. So this is very much about your identity, Pluto in your first house, how you show up, your empowerment. I could see Aquarius being one of the signs having a huge life breakthrough, huge major life, maybe even shocking event that could even change the whole trajectory of your life with this new moon portal. That may sound very intense for me to say, but this is a very big deal for you guys. With Mars in your 11th house, traditional ruler of Scorpio, your friends are highlighted, teams, like-minded community, could be secrets, healing breakthroughs having to do with those areas as well. So very interesting, Aquarius. Let me know what the heck is going on. I'm sending lots of love your way. Okay, next we move to our Capricorns, Cappies. Let me bring up all y'all's chart here. Here we go. Okay, so you guys are going to be having this very powerful new moon in Scorpio, fellow malefic sign. So you guys can handle it. You guys can handle the heat in your 11th house. And we've got your ruler, Granddaddy Saturn, in a beautiful trine to this new moon, a part of the grand water trine with Jupiter and this new moon. So you're definitely one of the signs, Capricorn, that, I mean, all the signs are going through this, but you in particular, you can be receiving great blessings, luck, opportunities with this new moon in Scorpio, this new moon week, and actually for the whole next month until the next new moon. And in particular, it's highlighting the areas of life, the 11th house of Aquarius areas for you, which is about your friends, your connections, your like-minded community and teams, people that you're associated with, your dreams, long-term goals, aspiration, technology, innovation. It's also the house of weirdness and shocks and surprises. So there can be some deep secrets being revealed about friends or communities you're associated with, or you may realize like your relationship to technology, 11th house of Aquarius, social media, maybe there's an addiction there, maybe there's an obsession there, maybe there's something that needs to be cleared out and up-leveled for you to be able to use those things in more of an empowered way. We've got the traditional ruler of Scorpio, Mars, in your 12th house. So you can definitely be feeling highly sensitive, perceptive, even more psychic than usual. You can be having vivid dreams of potentially your fears or traumas or things coming up to the surface to be released at this time. And the modern day ruler, Pluto, in Aquarius and sextile this new moon in your second house. So second house is all about Taurus, our income, our values, pleasures, and enjoyments of life, physical resources. Great new moon also for you to be really taking a look at your finances, resources, budgeting, getting honest with that. Maybe there's a helpful person, 11th house, that you learned something new from about where to put your resources, or maybe you learned something new about something to invest in. We are in a Mercury retrograde, so I would say wait until after November 30th to make any major financial investments. That's just me. I'm not a financial advisor, but just saying. And this grand water trine at this new moon is in your social houses. So it's very much about helpful people, friends, allies, strengthening of those ties. Maybe you're going to start working with friends or like-minded community at this new moon. And your relationships are being stabilized with Granddaddy Saturn in your third house, one of the social houses, a part of that grand water trine. So sending lots of love your way, Capricorns, and have a magical new moon in Scorpio. Okay, next we've got our Saggy-Waggy, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings. You are having this new moon in Scorpio, wow, in your 12th astrological house. Woo! And, you know, Scorpio is a water sign, 12th house of Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. This is a water house. So Sagittarians, you are feeling the feels, okay? You've got the grand water trine, beautiful grand water trine, a part of this new moon in your water houses. Emotions, healing, intuition, spiritual development. You are going through a huge spiritual awakening and up-level intuitive senses being turned on. I'm seeing plugged in for Saggies with this new moon. And we've got your planetary ruler, Jupiter, a part of this beautiful grand water trine in your 8th house. So I'm seeing for Sagittarians, this can actually be quite a sensitive new moon where if you open up to your vulnerabilities, the maybe deep secrets, things that are coming up, you can have really big healing breakthroughs that can bring in reinvigorated creativity, empowerment, taking your power back. Okay, I'm hearing that very strong for you. The traditional ruler of Scorpio, Mars, dispositor of this new moon, is in your sign and in your 1st house. So by embracing the healing energy, maybe taking part in some real deal healing modalities, there's empowerment and energy being returned to you. For sure. Very, very powerful new moon in Scorpio, Sagittarians. I'm sending lots and lots of love your way and have a magical new moon. My fellow Scorpios, Scorplings, happy new moon in Scorpio. It's our annual new moon in Scorpio, and this is a very special one. If you're just fast forwarding to this part of the Scorpio horoscope, you're going to want to listen to the whole video from the beginning because everything I've talked about will very much affect you, Scorpio. I said before that I think this is the most interesting, weird, just interesting new moon of this whole Gregorian 2025 year. It's absolutely fascinating. It's in our sign. It's in sextile to our modern day ruler, Pluto. So this is extremely empowering and transformative for us, having to do with our identity, who we are, how we show up to the world, our appearance. Interesting, I'm hearing the same message for us, Scorpio, as I heard for the Sagittarians. We're taking our power back. We're being reinvigorated into our own energy and identity and passions. At the time of this new moon, we've got the grand water trine, beautiful grand water trine in our fire houses. New moon in our 1st house, Saturn and Neptune in our 5th, and Jupiter in our 9th. So this is all about connecting back to the light, connecting back to fun, creativity, play, our own energy and divinity and who we really are. Okay. This is extremely, have I said healing? I've probably said healing 100 times in this video. Make time, Scorpio, for shadow work, for self-development, for deep reflection, because there's beautiful blessings that can come through having to do with power and energy coming back to you and really a whole new chapter of your life starting. This is a very big deal. So let me know, Scorpios, what's going on with all you. I'm sending lots of love your way and happy new moon. Okay, next we've got our lovely Libra, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Libras, you are having this new moon in Scorpio happen in your 2nd house. So it's really highlighting your values, your pleasure, sense of pleasure and enjoyment of life, your income, and your physical resources as well. There can be major breakthroughs or secrets being revealed about those areas. Invitation for healing work having to do with your self-value, having to do with your relationship to abundance, and there can be blessings happening in these areas. We've got the grand water trine with Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and the new moon happening in your earth houses. These houses have to do with work and income. Okay. So I think this is a beautiful new moon where you can be really feeling, what is it that you want to go deeper into professionally, being associated with? How do you want to receive income and abundance? How can you bring more stability and structure into your life in the long term? We've got the modern day ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, in a beautiful sextile to this new moon in your 5th house of creativity, being in the spotlight, your gifts and talents. So how can you bring even more of yourself and your gifts into your income, into your work, into showcasing your gifts and talents out into the world? This is very empowering and beautiful for you, Libras, and I'm sending lots of love your way. Have a very happy new moon. Okay, Virgos, how's it going? You are going to be having this new moon in Scorpio happening in your 3rd astrological house. So it's really shining a Scorpio light on your communication, local neighborhood and community, friends, siblings, cousins, short distance travel. I always call the 3rd house the busy house because it has a lot to do with our day-to-day life, day-to-day communication avenues as well. So with this being an information and communication house and Scorpio being the sign of secrets, this is a beautiful new moon for having in-depth conversations, healing conversations. You may be having some major secrets being revealed to you at this time, having to do potentially with this new moon being in a grand water trine to Jupiter and Saturn. They are in your 7th and 11th house. This is very much about your friends, associates, communities, committed relationships, love life. So you may be having a lot of really intense conversations with the people in your life, learning some intense things about them, and maybe you're sharing intense things about yourself, Virgo. This is a very powerful time for talk therapy, going deep into truths that need to be revealed. We've got your planetary ruler Mercury in a conjunction cazimi to this new moon. So it's all about information, revealing, communication. How can you better communicate? And also, how can you communicate your truth out into the world? Is it time to start a blog? Is it time to start a social media or a YouTube account? Is there something that you want to say that you've been holding in? Is there a deep truth or feeling that you want to let out? That can be really coming out. And there's healing, breakthroughs, and luck in your relationships for sure as well. With your work, with with modern day ruler Pluto in sextile to this new moon. And if you are doing any sort of short distance travel at this time, we do have Mercury retrograde, so please double check everything. You can be having very possibly intense healing experiences in the places where you are going. I do think this is a great new moon to be going out in your local community and maybe going to a healing group circle. You can be meeting new friends that are like-minded. New moon ceremony, that can be something really cool for you to do. Sending lots of love your way, Virgo, and have a very happy new moon in Scorpio. Okay, next we've got our Leos. Leo, sun, moon, and rising. You're having this new moon in Scorpio in your 4th astrological house. Woo! So, and, with the grand water trine, this is happening in your water houses. So all of the fire signs having this grand water trine in the water houses, you can be feeling more emotional or sensitive than usual. There's healing, breakthroughs, and potential for secrets being revealed having to do with your past. This can feel very nostalgic, this new moon in Scorpio. Your family members, your homeland, where you're coming from. Do you feel like you've maybe outgrown a country, outgrown a town, outgrown your living situation? Okay, that may be coming up for many Leos at this time. Truths being revealed about your foundation, your emotions, your home, and your family. Amazing new moon to be doing in-depth healing modalities. And we've got the modern day ruler of Scorpio, this new moon, Pluto, on your descendant in your 7th house in a sextile to your new moon. So some of you guys may be going to the next level with a partner in a living situation or with a contract. Maybe you're wanting to merge resources with a committed partner. Love life can actually have some positive breakthroughs with this new moon in Scorpio. Your friends can be supportive. Your lovers can be supportive. If there is anything intense going on with family, and maybe healing family traumas at this time can definitely be coming up. And it is important, for us to be in abundance and manifest and live our best life. We really need to take a look at where we come from and what is our past and potential major issues that we have from family traumas or ancestral traumas that maybe we're holding on to. So that can be coming up for a lot of Leos. Sending lots of love your way, Leos, and have a magical new moon in Scorpio. Next, we've got our Cancies, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings. You're having this new moon in Scorpio in your 5th house of fun, play, being in the spotlight, showcasing your gifts and talents out into the world. So this new moon in Scorpio, Cancers, is initiating you into higher levels of confidence and being your authentic self, and up-leveling to share your gifts and your creativity out into the world. There may be secrets or intense information coming up at this time having to do with your inner child, from your inner child. Some of you may be dreaming about your inner child or your childhood, having to do with children in your life or romantic suitors, people that you've been dating. There can be some interesting information coming forward having to do with them. And with this grand water trine at this new moon happening in your fire houses, it's really, I'm hearing Spirit say, coming home to self. You're being invited to come home into yourself, to gain in confidence, okay? You, compared to a lot of the other signs, this can actually feel like a positive, fun new moon. With it being in your 5th house, it's kind of easier for you compared to a lot of the other signs, but still can be intense nonetheless, of truths coming up about how you maybe need to be more authentically yourself out into the world. And maybe there's some gifts or talents that you've been suppressing due to fears or traumas from your childhood. So something for you maybe to want to take a look at. We've got the modern ruler of Scorpio, the modern dispositor of this new moon, Pluto, in your 8th house of Pluto and Scorpio, sextile your new moon. Yeah, so very big transformation and up level into who you truly are. And I could see also like the 5th house in astrology can have to do with not serious love relationships, sexual affairs, dating, right? So Pluto in your 8th house in sextile to this new moon is like, somebody that you've been seeing, is that really going to last? Does that really make sense? I can see a lot of Cancers that's maybe been dating or in not so serious relationships. There can be some big truths being revealed about that. And you don't want to settle for less than your values. Okay, so Pluto is saying, don't settle if there's any red flags when it comes to relationships. So sending lots of love your way, Cancers, and have a beautiful new moon in Scorpio. All right, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Risings, you are having this new moon in Scorpio in your 6th astrological house. And this is the house of health, day-to-day work, our office spaces, our habits, our schedule, our pets as well. And we've got your planetary ruler, Mercury, and actually the ruler of the 6th house of Virgo, your sister sign, in your 6th house in a cazimi to this new moon. So I feel like for many Geminis, this may feel like a very busy new moon. There can be a lot going on. There can be a lot of intense realizations or secrets, shadow aspects being highlighted in your health and in your routine and in your habits, okay? Your routine and your day-to-day habits has a huge effect, Gemini. And if you have been struggling recently, which I'm not saying that you guys have been, but just saying if you have been struggling or you have been feeling really low, having a good daily practice, having a solid schedule helps us feel better immensely, helps your mental health, your physical health. So this is a new moon all about your health and the truth and authenticity about where you at physically, mentally, spiritually in your health and your routines. Is there a shift that needs to happen there? And Spirit is saying your health affects your wealth and affects your work and your worth and what you manifest. You're having the grand water trine in this new moon in your earth houses, your work and your income houses. So if you're feeling like shit and you're not taking care of yourself, might have to do with money issues, might have to do with work issues, might have to do with boundary issues as well. This is an amazing new moon to be doing physical cleansing. Geminis have Scorpio in the 6th house. Scorpio rules detoxification and cleansing. Doing a physical cleanse, looking at how you can maybe bring some more supplementation for cleansing can be a really good thing as well. And I think this one is going to give you guys more grounding and stability. So let me know how you guys are feeling, Gemini. Very excited to see how this new moon plays out for you. Beautiful transformation, beautiful opportunity for transformation and growth in your day-to-day routines and health. Sending lots of love your way and have a happy new moon. Taurus, sun, moon, and risings, my fellow Taurus placements. How are we doing out there? Woo! We are having this new moon in Scorpio in our 7th house of relationships and other people and committed relationships, contracts, obligations, our aesthetic as well. So Taurus, whenever we're dealing with the 7th house definitely has to do with other people. Sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Give me one moment. Okay, I don't have to. I'm going to be a total Taurus rising for a moment and just take a sniff of my oil so I don't do a crazy sneeze. Okay, that's good. Tauruses, whenever we have 7th house transits, there can be a very big emphasis on other people in our life. So with us having Scorpio in our 7th house, and it's a new moon in Scorpio, there can be intense things going on with other people around us, our lovers, our work partners, friends, committed relationships. We may need to be, Tauruses, in a very supportive role for some people out there. But this new moon, it's not just about other people. It's Scorpio, so it's also inviting us to look within ourselves about who are we attracting? What is the truth about the relationships in our lives, our contracts, and our obligations? Okay. There can be secrets revealed about people in our lives and intense things going on with them. We've got the grand water trine of this new moon happening in our relationship and our social houses. So this can be very busy with communications. We've got Mercury retrograde conjunct this new moon. So we may hear from someone that we haven't heard from in a really long time. Someone from our past can be coming up. There could be a lover from the past coming up. We want to be mindful of that with Venus at detriment in our 7th, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio in our 7th. People from the past, lovers from the past, work associates from the past. Just because somebody may be coming up doesn't mean necessarily that you have to have a relationship again. Maybe you can, maybe they're healed and you're healed and you can move forward. Pay attention to what are people reflecting back to you at this time and what in you attracts the people that are in your life around you. Okay. Very powerful astrology, Tauruses, of the modern day ruler of Scorpio, modern disposer of this new moon, Pluto, in Aquarius on our midheaven. Oh my God, at the top of our charts in sextile to this new moon. So I'm hearing that phrase that I repeat this quite often, but birds of a feather flock together. Okay. The people that you have around you, grand water trine in your people houses, your social houses, affects Pluto in the midheaven, how far you go. Taurus, sun, moon, and risings. We are having something right now that only 1/4 of people will experience in our lives with our current lifespan, which is Pluto on our midheaven. Taurus, we are being up-leveled professionally over the course of the next 19 years with Pluto in our 10th house into very high positions in our respective fields, okay? And you want to have people around you that got your back, that support you, that are for your highest good, to work with, to partner with. And there can be blessings as well having to do with your work or work opportunities, helpful people, powerful people. Scorpio deals with powerful people. So yeah, this is a lot. Let me know how you guys are doing, Tauruses. I'm sending lots of love your way, and happy new moon in Scorpio, your opposite sign. Last but very not least, Aries. Thank you for being patient. I'm sure some of you Aries maybe skipped right ahead to the Aries part, which is all good. So Aries, sun, moon, and risings, you are going to be having this new moon in Scorpio in your 8th house of Scorpio. Wow. And the Grand Water Trine, very powerful new moon in Scorpio. Grand Water Trine happening in your water houses. So Aries, you can be feeling sensitive, emotional. This is a beautiful time for what I've been talking about this whole video, real deal healing modalities, Scorpio and the 8th house. Aries, do you guys know that you're going to be having the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in your sign February of 2026? Okay. And if you've got an Aries placement from 0 to 10 degrees of Aries, that Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which is a no joke, will be conjunct your Aries placement. So it affects all Aries, but particularly those first 10 degrees of Aries. This is a time where, Aries, it's important for you to get real with yourself. It's important for you to be having some sort of self-care routine at this time, because this is very powerful astrology. You are going through huge transformation. This new moon can bring up very big secrets, blessings of moving past traumas, moving past fears, moving past self-sabotage, shadow work, maybe some things that you need to own up to, things from the past, family issues coming up for healing as well. So this is a beautiful new moon in Scorpio for transmutation. We've got the modern day ruler of Pluto in Aquarius in your 11th house sextile the new moon. So helpful friends, helpful conversations. I'm hearing the song, I get by with a little help from my friends. Aries, lean on your friends if you're feeling like you need help, if you're feeling like you need to have a real talk, if there's maybe something that you need to own up to or a boundary that you need to put up with somebody. So powerful stuff. Let me know how you guys are all feeling, and I'm sending lots of love your way. Okay, magical people, we have gone through the whole collective and each of the 12 signs, sun, moon, rising readings for this new moon in Scorpio. Wowzers. This is, I think, a week for the history books. This is going to be very, very interesting. So thank you all for joining me. Really appreciate if you'd like this video, subscribe to my channel, consider leaving a comment below to help with the channel's growth, and also check out my 2026 astrology webinar for all 12 signs happening December 4th, 5th, 7th, and 8th, 4-day webinar for only $44 USD. It's going to be definitely over 12 hours of content of astrological forecasting for each of the 12 signs. I do this annual 4-day webinar every year, and we have so much fun. It's live, it's interactive. You get all the forecasting for yourself, for everybody in your life, all 12 signs. So if you'd like to sign up and join me, link is in the description box and highlighted comment of this video. And I've got 10% discount off, 10% discount code 2026 you can use till November 30th. Also, this holiday season, I am offering gift certificates on my personal readings. You can give the gift of astrology. So if you go to megmoonbeam.com, go on my readings tab, there are gift certificates available for this holiday season. And I'm very, very appreciative for everybody's support here on my channel. I'm so grateful that I get to be a professional astrologer, mystic, and weirdo, and that many of you guys resonate with what I put out there. So I just want to give a very big thank you, love you. I'm very appreciative for all of your support. and excited to see what this new moon brings. So I will see you all on the other side. Bye, everyone.